Good day, OA. My name is Lionel Garcia. I'm your Vice President of Sales and Agent Development, and I'm excited because it is Monday, and I see that I am buffering, so let me change my camera. Give me 1 second. Welcome to all of you that are joining. I'm still here. I'm just trying to set this up so that you can see me. Give me one moment as I try to fix the buffering situation. All right, I am back. Welcome again to Motivation Monday. I'm excited because we are here together and going to be covering a topic that many of us sometimes are dealing with, and I'm sure it's not you, but some of our friends in this business, they experience from time to time, and that is stress, right? Stress is something that can really weigh heavy on us, can create stress, can build fear, can build doubt. So instead of talking about how we're going to eliminate stress, which we've done before with some breathing exercises and some mental clarity things that we've done, I want to talk about how we can use this stress for good. So what we're going to do is sometimes I want to help you with this because sometimes the thing that is causing pressure is actually going to point you towards your next breakthrough. So before we jump in, I want to do my favorite part of the week, and those are our wins of the week. So let's kick it off. Drop your wins in the chat. I know I have a few of you live. If you're watching this in a recording, please share your wins. We'd love to know what it is. So maybe you followed up with the lead that you've been putting off. Maybe you've created content consistently. Maybe you've completed some training. So whatever your wins, be it work related, be it personal, love to hear what your wins of the week. Let's celebrate it because every step forward is going to matter. And I want to hear your wins. So let's talk about it. I'll tell you, for me, my personal win, I have a personal win this week. I'm really excited because today, Monday, August 10th, my kids went back to school. And I know that shouldn't sound like a really big win for me because I'm not home with them. And my wife actually gets to work from home and she's been with them all summer. But it's a win for our home. It's a win for my kids because now we get back to a routine, back to a pattern, back to learning and growing. So we're really excited. This week kicked off today, started awesome. We left the house on time. I know, mind blown. And we got all the things that we needed settled. I even worked out this morning. We ate breakfast all together and we made it to school so early that I had to wait in the parking lot for the kids until the school opened their doors. So that was a win. So that's my win of this week. What's yours? I don't see anyone having any wins or sharing any wins right now live. So we are going to jump in to our topic this week, which is to turn stress into strategy. I just want to remind you that stress is not always a sign that something is wrong. Sometimes it's a sign that something needs attention. So I want you to think about that. What is stress trying to tell you? So when you're stressed about follow-up, right? Maybe it's that your pipeline needs more organization. Or when you're stressed about time, maybe it's that your schedule needs more boundaries. When you're stressed about inconsistent bookings, maybe it's time that you increase your visibility and your outreach. The problem isn't always the stress, but sometimes we like to focus on just the stress, but the problem isn't always the stress. What is the stress trying to tell you? The problem is that when we treat stress like a stop sign, instead of treating stress like a compass, we have to ask ourselves, what is the stress trying to teach you? Stress often reveals the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And that's really valuable information for you because it's going to help you make the decisions that you need to make and take the next steps. For example, rain doesn't stop a pilot from navigating. it helps them pay closer attention to their instruments. In that same way, stress can help you identify where you may need to focus. So here is a mindset shift. I want you to think about this, that pressure is not proof that you're failing. Often it's proof that you're growing. Keep that in mind. Pressure is not proof that you're failing. It could be proof that you are growing, because every successful entrepreneur, be it in travel or not in travel, has faced uncertainty. And every successful travel advisor for sure has experienced some pressure. So what's going to separate a successful person versus an unsuccessful person? What separates a successful person isn't the absence of stress. It's the ability to strategically manage that stress and think about how it is and balance it emotionally. So instead of asking, and this is so important, this happens to all of us, why is this happening to me? Oh my goodness. Who has asked that question before? Right here, I'm raising my hand. Try asking yourself, what can I learn from this? What adjustments can I make? What opportunity is hiding inside of this challenge? Or even ask yourself that question, what is the stress trying to tell me? Because when you ask better questions, you're going to discover better solutions. And then suddenly, and it sounds suddenly, but the truth is it's not so sudden, that stress can begin to form a strategy on how you're going to move forward your business, a strategy on what step to take next and what to do. So here it is. I love every Monday we do this. We do our call to action. And so what are we doing? We're going to do a call to action, and we're going to call it the stress to strategy exercise. Yes, we're doing the stress to strategy exercise. So you're going to identify what are your stressors. I want you to identify one thing that's currently causing you stress in your business. Of course, write it down. If you don't write it down, it's not real. Write it down. Put it in front of you on a piece of paper. Put it up on a wall. Write down what is the stress that you are currently facing in your business. And then I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. First question is, what is this stress trying to tell me? All right, so think about it. What is that stress trying to tell you? Number 2, what can I control about this situation? And then lastly, what's one action I can take this week to improve it? So here is your call to action this week. I want you to try your best to work on taking your stress and turning it into a strategy. And how you're going to do that is you're going to write down that one stressor. I know you probably are carrying a few stressors right now, but write down that one stressor, that one thing that is really irking you right now, and put it down in writing. Then I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. The first of which is, what is this stress trying to tell you? Number 2, what can you control about this situation? And lastly, what's one action you can take this week to improve it? So I want you to focus on the action and not the worry, right? Don't worry. Focus on the action. And remember, this was something we talked about last week. Clarity is going to come from movement. So take action. Take that next step. Now, I do see a comment here, so let's see what we got. Oh, I love this. My friend Mark, our friend Mark with Virgin Voyages. Deep, you're right, Lionel. Safety is doing nothing. Getting out there is doing something. Means you're likely to make errors, and errors means you're doing something. I love that. Actually, it's funny you say that, Mark. My kid's school is called Acton Academy, and it's all based on failing. And one of the examples that the institutional, the owner says is like, hey, would you rather, when you're skiing or learning how to ski, do you want to fall when you're 3 feet tall, right? A kid, or do you want to fall when you're 6 feet tall? Where does it hurt more? So with my kids and my kids' school, their whole learning process is to learn how to fail and grow from their failures. So I love this, Mark. So doing something means you're not standing still. So I love that comment. Thank you for sharing that. I think a lot of our agents would appreciate that as well. So let's jump into our quote of the day. And the quote of the day is that obstacles are not what are in the way. The obstacle is the way. And I butchered it because I didn't read it. So the obstacles is not in the way. The obstacle is the way. And this is because sometimes the challenge that you're facing today is preparing you for the opportunity that you will receive tomorrow. I'm sure you've all heard that sometimes what follows the valley, or the deepest times, the deepest, darkest times, are the highest of the highs. And sadly, it's true to say that sometimes when you're at the highest of the highest, there are some valleys that might follow. But think about this. The obstacle is not in the way. The obstacle can be the way. So look at taking your stress and turning it into a strategy and take action on how to tackle that stress. So in closing, I just want to say thank you. Thanks for being here this week. Nobody shared any wins, so I hope that I get to see the wins in the follow-up, and you could comment some of your wins, because guess what? I know you're having wins. I know you're celebrating wins. Or maybe you're not celebrating them, but you have the wins, and I want to celebrate with you. So please go ahead and write down your wins so that I can see them and share them and celebrate with you. So, but this week, I don't want you to run away from stress. I want you to lean in and learn from it. I want you to listen to it. I want you to use it, because the pressure you're feeling is going to actually point you toward that next level of growth. I want you to have a great week this week moving forward. And I'll see you next Monday on the 17th, as we're going to cover a new topic, and it's how to build an unstoppable movement. I can't wait to see you next week, Monday, same time, same place. See ya.